One thing that came out late yesterday afternoon, which I think is a little ominous, and I try not to read too much into this, but I also don't want to not read enough into it. The Steelers worked out 2 quarterbacks yesterday, Jason Bean and Tanner Mordecai. Not big names.
Yeah.
Bean played most recently at Kansas. He was undrafted in 2024. Mordecai finished up, I believe, at Wisconsin. He was also undrafted in 2024. Neither stuck. They were out there. They were available to be brought in to be worked out. When you bring in 2, that means you're looking for a quarterback. Sometimes you'll bring in 1 quarterback because you've got 3 receivers and 2 running backs you're working out, and you need somebody to throw the football to them, and you're really not interested in that quarterback. When you bring in 2, you're interested in the quarterback. And is that just for Sunday? Or is that, because look at it this way. If they decide he can't play this week, then he can't play until this thing is healed. And bones don't heal quickly.
Right.
So if he can't play a week after the bone is fractured, he can't play 2 weeks after it's fractured. He can't play 3 weeks after it's fractured, right?
Right.
So this could be one of those situations where we let this play out all week. He's ruled out on Friday, and on Saturday they put him on injured reserve, and he misses the next 4 games. And I only say that because they worked out 2 quarterbacks yesterday.
Yeah,
because they'll need another quarterback if he's not around.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You're right. Listen, that's fair to connect those dots, and that's a big deal. And look at this schedule right here. Go back and put that schedule up, guys, if you can. Sorry. They got some schedule coming up right here. Right? This is a dicey part of the year. You look at this schedule and go, could they lose to the Bears? Of course. Could they lose to the Bills? Of course. Could they lose to the Ravens in Baltimore? Of course. Could they lose to the Dolphins? Yes, they can lose to the Dolphins. They're not that good, Pittsburgh, that you can just chalk it up. Right? At the Lions, because they lose? Yes. At the Browns, won't be easy, as we know in Cleveland with that defense. But okay, I like their chances in that one. And then the Ravens to end the year, and by all due accounts, we know, the freaking Ravens are going to be playing that week because they're in a dogfight right now, and they've lost 5 games already. So, this is a monumental part of the season here where you look at it and go, we could be sitting here in 4 weeks and going, the Steelers are 6-8. They're 6-8. And they're in deep crap, and they got to win their last 3 to get in the playoffs or something of that nature. And, so this is a dicey time with the quarterback injury and all of that. And, but at the same time, Mike, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Mason Rudolph if he's got to hold down the fort here for the next few weeks?
He came in and played the entire second half. Now, they only ended up with a couple of drives. I didn't realize that. They did get a touchdown on a pick 6, but he was 12 of 16 for 127 yards with a touchdown, passer rating of 118.5. And this is a guy that they were supposedly comfortable with, even if Rodgers decided not to play. And it was late in the 2023 season, I believe, that Rudolph played and won some games. He was respectable in a playoff loss at the Buffalo Bills, and then he just wanted too much money in 2024, and they said, nope, we're going to take that money that you want, and we're going to pay Russell Wilson and Justin Fields and Kyle Allen. And literally, they paid those 3 guys less than what Mason Rudolph made to be a backup quarterback in Tennessee for a season. But he's back now, and I think they do trust him. Here's a little from Mike Tomlin on Mason Rudolph and the possibility that he's going to have to, at the end of the day, go in and take over the Aaron Rodgers offense.
He's proven over his time here that he's capable of coming in and playing winning football for us. And that's no small task. When you're preparing during the course of a week as a backup, you have a limited number of reps. Usually the guts of the plan are geared toward the specific talents of the starters. And so you may get some reps, but it might not be, quote unquote, plays that are, perfectly in your wheelhouse. He's always found a way to manage those challenges, to remain confident, for that confidence to ooze out of him and be a catalyst for a collective performance.
I just want to say one thing about Mike Tomlin. I love Mike Tomlin as a coach, and there is this speculation when he's done in Pittsburgh, he'll go straight to TV. I think any network out there should throw money at Mike Tomlin. It is difficult to speak extemporaneously. That is what you and I do all the time. It is hard to do. You don't have a script, and you are trying to make sense in the moment.
Yeah.
And there is no better extemporaneous speaker in the entire NFL universe, coach, broadcaster, anyone, than Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin calling a game would be incredible. Incredible. And I'd kind of always known that, and we always love listening to him. But it's almost like he comes up with his one-liners on the fly. And he is always speaking. And, folks, it is not easy to speak in a persuasive, engaging, and authoritative way in the moment like that. How many coaches do we see show up for a press conference, like an introductory press conference, and they've got notes, and all they're saying is, thank you to my what's this word? Oh, family.
Yeah.
and Tomlin, I mean, I just there's something riveting about him, and I just wanted to say that because I don't know. Hey, Mike, maybe, I mean, you've done so. John Madden went from star to superstar, and I just think Tomlin could go from star to Mount Rushmore broadcaster if and when he decides to do it.
Listen, you know my thoughts on it. First off, I would love for Pittsburgh to fire him and the New York Giants to hire him. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. All right, so but please let that happen. All right, I'm down. Let's go Big Blue. All right, so but to your point, yes, I mean you've heard me talk about it before. He's the greatest communicator I was around in my NFL career. Nobody could talk and engage with every guy in the locker room the way Mike Tomlin could. He could motivate as good as I've seen anybody. And he had that way, again, of being critical if he had to be, but you knew it was for your best interests, and it wasn't personal. It was just about being better as a player, and that's where Tomlin is amazing. And then, hey, right? I mean, listen, full transparent. We saw him in the tunnel in the Green Bay's Pittsburgh game, right, before the game. I mean, he's awesome there. It's natural to him, right? He's great energy. Hey, Mike Florio, blah, blah, blah. He asks you a few questions. You hear him asking about me and my family and all that. He is just as good as it gets in that department. So if he wanted to go down that road, he certainly could be one of the best there is at announcing a football game. He just also, though, I know him. He's a gym rat.
Best there ever was. Yeah. He could be one of the best there ever was.
He's a gym rat, though.
That.
He loves watching ball. He loves, like you saw last year in Hard Knocks, sitting in the meeting room, evaluating tape, talking to every coach and going, hey, we got to do this and do that. I mean, that's his comfort zone. That really is. So I know it'd be interesting to see what he does and what happens here, because we're at a dicey point, like we talked about with the Steelers, their schedule, where they are, Mason Rudolph, everything there, going to be very interesting. And there's a part of me, Mike, too, with the Mason Rudolph thing, just to kind of finish that up. I don't really know if I can't even believe I'm going to utter these words. Does it really matter? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not like, oh, my gosh, they're going to miss Aaron Rodgers. Uh-oh, they can't throw the slant to DK Metcalf anymore? What are they going to do? I mean, so there's a part of me with Mason Rudolph, I'm not so sure that they might not be able to run their offense the way they want to run it more, right? That's where I've gotten. I was excited about Aaron Rodgers and pushing the ball down the field, hopefully, and all that, but it kind of hasn't happened. And it's back to the Aaron Rodgers kind of plan of attack always. Mason Rudolph, when he got in the game the other day, I don't know, it felt like the game was being called different. And I think it is being called different because Rodgers hijacks it a little bit, I think, with audibles and checking at the line of scrimmage. And then they know there's certain plays he doesn't like, so they don't call them at all. And I don't think they're going to have those issues with Mason Rudolph. So I'll be interested to see what happens when he does play here.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.